Good morning, everyone. Today and the next 3 days, I'm going to be in Sequoia National Park. And I got a couple of hikes planned. First, what I'm doing today is the General Sherman Tree Trail. Should be a short trail, a little more than a mile, less than 200 feet of climbing. And at the visitor center yesterday, they told me there was like a foot of snow on the trail, and there is definitely snow on the trail, and it's very slippery. I brought my micro spikes. I was hoping I wouldn't need them. I have them with me, but you know what? Based on the little bit of slipping and sliding I'm doing already, I am going to put them on right over here. So after I put them on, I'm going to resume with this video. Didn't take too long to get to the Sherman tree, and this thing is massive. It is 275 feet tall. What a beautiful tree. It's estimated that some of these trees, the older ones, are between 1,000 and 1,800 years old. And the reason they get to be so large is because they grow fast, and they're very resistant to disease, fires, insects, pests. So they're very hardy trees. And here's a couple more specs on the General Sherman tree. I said 275 feet tall, 36.5 feet wide at the base. It has a volume of 52,500 cubic feet. Amazing. Actually, I take it back. This tree has a circumference of 103 feet and weighs 1,385 tons. Wow, what a giant. I'm impressed. There's a couple other trees next to General Sherman. Not nearly as big as General Sherman is. Still impressive nonetheless. All right, I'm going to keep hiking. There should be more to see. Here's a sequoia that's fallen down for reasons unknown. But you can see, look at the size of these roots on the base here. Massive. I'm going to walk over here to the other side. Hopefully the sun won't be too blinding. It's broken off into two pieces. There's another piece up there. There might even be another piece further up. Looks like it's been lying here for a while too. Interesting. But I am definitely glad I wore my micro spikes. Much easier to walk with them on. And it's getting to be the end of February. I think it's February 26th today, and definitely the off season. And I like coming to these national parks in the off season because it's much less crowded. So far, I've been the only person out here. I haven't seen anyone else, which is nice, just the way I like it. And that's also one of the reasons why I'd like to start these hikes early. I started at 8 o'clock because, again, less crowded. There's also better light. It's not so harsh as the midday light. I can do some better photography. Looks like we're coming up on a nice little overlook here. Let me stop for a second. Zoom in a little bit. Nice. It's a little chilly out here today. It was in the mid 40s when I got here, started this hike, and might get into the low to mid 50s. We're at about almost 7,000 feet of elevation here, and I'm camped down at a much lower elevation, around 2,000 feet. There's zero snow there, and it's going to get down into the, or not down, going to get up into the low to mid 60s there. It was 65 when I got here to the park yesterday, which surprised me. I thought it'd be colder than that. But just amazing. This is interesting here. I did pass an area as I was driving up here of fire damage. You can see some on this tree as well, that tree. And I had mentioned earlier that the reason these sequoia trees get to be so large, not only do they grow fast and they live to be an old age, but they're resistant to fire. So I did see some fire damage on a number of the sequoias, but they all looked like they were doing well. They were thriving. There's another one. You could see the bottom of it was blackened by a fire, but looks to be in good health, which is good. I'm glad. Love that red color on the bark too. Okay, let's keep going. Well, there's another tree falling down, blocking the trail. This one's a lot smaller. I think the easiest way is just be climb over this, come over off of the trail a little bit. I see some other footprints, so others have done this as well. Let's see if I hang on here. Up and over. All right, not too bad. Pretty good, getting over that. Not sure why that tree fell down. Looks like it was a thriving tree. I don't know. Maybe the roots couldn't hold it anymore. The wind blew it down. Not sure. A little more than a mile, maybe a mile and a quarter onto the Congress Trail now. I think we're coming up to the President tree. It should be coming up shortly. Love that. All right, when we get to that other tree, President tree, I'll show that to you. And this is the President's tree. There's no signage giving me any specifics as far as dimensions, size, things like that. A truly impressive tree. The whole trail is impressive. Just spin around here and give you a little bit of the view. It's gorgeous. If you make a little side trip off of the Congress Trail, it's less than 1/10 of a mile, you'll see the Chief Sequoia tree, which is this beautiful specimen here. This little view. Love the light here, lighting up those trees nicely. But if we come back down here, back towards the Congress Trail, take me a little bit to get there. Not too much further, I promise. There's a cluster of trees over here. That's called the Senate. Well, you know, the sun is going to go ahead. Let me come up here. Should be a little better. Here's the Senate. Try to count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's a dozen or more trees here. Not counting these smaller ones, just counting these bigger ones. There's a dozen or more. Walking along, and I noticed these two trees that are missing their tops. The guess I have for why that happened would be maybe a lightning strike. That'd be my guess. And this looks like part of one of the trees. This, I think this is the base of another tree here. I just thought that was interesting how the top of these two trees was blown off. Could only be lightning, I would guess. But I'm going to hike down here a little more. Just left the Senate group, and just a little further down here should be a cluster of trees called the house. You can come walk with me to there. This group of trees may be it. I don't see a sign yet. If this isn't the house, it's regardless. It's a nice grouping of trees here. Let's keep walking. Maybe there'll be a sign. I think there's a marker over here. That's just a bench. Oh, I see a placard. Let's see. Yes, here's the sign. And that grouping of trees I just videoed is the house. All right, I got about another mile to go till I get back to the trailhead. If I see something interesting before then, I'll show it to you. Well, not far from the house is this next site, which is the McKinley tree, named after President McKinley. You know, this trail's been pretty easy to follow, even with the snow on it, but there are some sections where you're going to have to refer to the trail if you've downloaded it, which I have done, luckily. But like I said, it's not too hard to follow. You can see right here by the well-worn path which way to go. And again, if you're coming out here this time of year, bring your spikes. You'll be glad you did. The other thing that I noticed driving up here, like I said, my camp was at 2,000 feet approximately, and this trail is at almost 7,000 feet. You really don't see these giant sequoias until you get up over 6,000 feet, and then you'll start to see them. Not sure why they only grow in a higher elevation. That seems to be the case. And with the sun being out now for a little while, things are warming up a little bit. Starting to turn this snow into a mashed potato consistency. Yeah, nice grouping of trees. Love that view. All right, I think I only got about a half mile left to go to the trailhead. Okay, just about done with this hike, right at the trailhead, which is right there. You can see the van. A couple of the cars are here now. Still haven't seen anyone else. But this looked like a nice spot to finish. Right here by this stream. The hike was about 2¼ miles, 300 feet of climbing. Taking my time and stopping to do videos and pictures. Took about 2 hours. Beautiful, beautiful trail. Hopefully you could tell that from my video. Just, like I said, great time to come here. It's not crowded. Snow, fortunately, isn't that bad. Wear spikes if you're going to do it. But I appreciate you watching. And if you're still watching, it's like I always say, keep smiling. All shall be well. And be grateful for everything you have. Also, if you've watched this far, if you could subscribe and hit the like button on this video, I would greatly appreciate that. It helps the YouTube algorithms, which you've heard about before, and lets other people see our videos. Okay, that's going to do it for today. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next hike. Bye-bye.